Hello fellow YouTubers. Today's Friday, August 31st, yep, the last day of the month and officially the last day of winter. Yes, but and it has been a very warm day and we've had a very warm wind blowing too, but it's started to cool off now. It's a bit after 5 and I think it'll be a pretty cold night. And there's some rain heading our way. I checked the radar half an hour ago and there will be some rain heading our way. Yes, so I've had a not as busy day as it was yesterday. No, I had to go into town to my wife's doctor's surgery. No, nothing for her. I had to pick up a form for her aunt. No, it wasn't a form, but it turned out to be a form. I know this is sounding weird. I thought I was going in to pick up a disability parking ticket, plaque, whatever you want to call it. But no, I had to go in and pick up a form, and the form wasn't even, it was signed by the doctor, but it had to be filled in. And before I got home with it, my wife had found out that the actual plaque or sticker or whatever it is, had already been gotten 6 months previously. Yeah, by a girl's cousin. Lack of communication. Total lack of communication. Anyhow, so I wasted my time there. And then I came home and the recycling bin had been empty, so I bought that in and put it away. And then I came inside and then I went down here. And the wind was really blowing. And the little windmill in the backyard was spinning around for all it was worth, so I got some footage of it. And you can have a look at that. And it was very windy way up yonder too, because the clouds had a straight line to the base of them. So I got some pics of that and a little bit of footage as well. And you can have a look at that too. And I attempted to do a drawing of Marvin the Martian. I'm going to blow up the planet Earth. I think it spoils my view of Venus. Anyhow, it's okay, but the pens I had were old. The tips of them weren't very good. I didn't have a lot of control over them, except the red was okay, and the big black one was about the best. But anyhow, for all the problems I had, and to top it off, the camera was over my shoulder and I wasn't in a very good position, but you can have a look at that too. and I'll do a little reading. It's only going to be a short reading, yeah, a very short reading. You know, as I was talking about playing with my friends, and we played all over the place. I did mention that before, but anyhow, playing with your friends in the church grounds was a simple thing too. As long as the nosy neighbour next door didn't stick a head over the fence and give us a hard time. I don't know what she found so objectionable about a few kids running around enjoying themselves, but she did. We made a bit of a noise like all kids do, but we never yelled and screamed. We didn't swear. And we never threw rocks or vandalised anything, but she was never satisfied until we left. Kept an almost constant vigil, she did, once she knew we were there. Thrusting her mop of broom in the air up and down like an aged warrior, a self-appointed guardian of some ancient sepulchre. We tried to ignore her, did for a while, but she was always so insistent that we just had to leave. Leave and come back another day. I think it got to the point that we started going there just to annoy her. To watch her silly antics and listen to her shrill voice and constant tirade. Sometimes we would sneak back and hide under the oleander tree that lined the front fence and wait to see what she got up to when we weren't there. Did she come back to satisfy herself that we hadn't returned? You bet she did. Time and time again she would poke her head over the fence, and every time she did we would laugh and chuckle to ourselves. Sometimes she stretched her veined and wrinkled neck so far, I half expected the wattle of loose flesh under her chin to get wedged in the V between the palings. But thankfully that never happened. I know something like that would have really cracked us up at the time. Would have had us all rolling on the ground clutching our stomachs until we realised that it wasn't really funny at all. No. She was just a lonely old woman who had nothing better to do than harass a bunch of kids who thought she was nuts. Who themselves had nothing better to do than lie under some trees and be entertained by someone doing something that wasn't entertaining at all. It was inane, foolish, and I dare say, childish. But we were kids, and we found mirth, amusement, and good times in non-events, banal experiences, and spur-of-the-moment happenings. Playing hopscotch on a pattern of squares crudely drawn on the footpath and laughing when someone fell over trying to pick up their stone while balancing on one leg. Shooting all the coloured marbles from a circle-nominated sequence and pocketing the lot while the losers whinged and whined over your good fortune. Taking off your shoes and socks, then twisting about in a puddle on the ground until it became a pool of mud. Then letting it ooze between your toes over and over and over again because it felt good. Making mud pies for no other reason than the mud was there and it seemed like a good idea at the time. Collecting green caterpillars from the privet bushes that lined some of the front fences because one of us had the bright idea they were silkworms. They weren't, but no one else knew differently. And if we put them in a box, we would get silk cocoons. And wouldn't that be something? Yes, that would have been something. But all we ended up with was a box littered with excreta and dead caterpillars. That didn't stop us from doing it again and again and again, because each time we did, we thought we had learned something that we didn't know before. And the next time things would be different if we made the holes in the lid bigger. Punch some holes in the sides of the box. Sprinkle water on the leaves. Take the lid off the box and put it outside so they could get some sun. Place the box on the windowsill at night or put it outside so they could get put it outside. Change the leaves daily rather than every other day. But the end result was always the same. We gave up in the end, not because we didn't want to keep trying. I bet you know it's coming, don't you? But simply because we couldn't find any more caterpillars. Sailing homemade paper boats along the curbside gutter when it rained. Dad taught me how to make them, taking me step by step through every fold, crease, tuck and pull, after which I practiced and practiced until their manufacture became second nature. When the clouds brought forth precipitation, I was out, barefoot and wearing a raincoat. It was a raincoat or stay inside mum ultimatum. Racing ahead to clear away any impediments. Then standing with my feet together, watching and feeling the water ebb and flow around my ankles and between my legs. Always alert to the boat's progress, waiting as it got closer, closer, closer still. Then, at the very last moment, stepping aside so it could continue on its journey. How many kids sailed homemade paper boats when it rained? Sometimes I had to race back and ride it when it floundered, and occasionally the flow was so strong that I was hard pressed to keep up with it before it disappeared down the drain at the end of the street. Hello, Georgie. You want a balloon? Oh, they float down here. Oh, everything floats down here. Other times we had races. Richard on one side of the street, me on the other, kneeling, holding the stern of the boat between thumb and forefinger. Ready, set, go! Spring to our feet and jog along the top of the curb, always a few feet ahead of our boats and constantly checking each other to see who was leading. There would always be a leader because the flow along both gutters varied dramatically, even though at times it wasn't obvious to the naked eye. If your boat lagged behind, there wasn't anything you could do but resign yourself to defeat. Or hope and pray the other boat took in water and sank. But I don't remember that ever happening. Never. Oh, that'll do. That'll do. I don't know. The lighting still bugs me, just as this does. Anyhow, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you have a good weekend, and remember the Aerogard or whatever it is you use over in the US, UK and Europe and the rest of the world. And until next time, bye for now. I'll be back tomorrow, probably.